Well, it all starts with the concept and idea that you have to have a dream, a goal to pursue, something that's going to change your life forever. We've been talking about that here on the Morning Wake Up Call, and so we're glad to have you with us. We hope to inspire you, inform you, and give you some insight that can help you grow yourself and, in turn, grow your business or organization so that you can change your world and the world around you. Having that dream and taking responsibility for it is a big step. Matter of fact, it is the first step that has to happen for anything to begin to even happen, for you to have that idea that has been brewing in your mind, that thing that has begun to saturate your life and begin to move you forward. But then you have to really decide what you want. What is it? Can I name it? Can I see it? Can I touch it? Can I feel it? Can I taste it? Can I smell it? Is it really real? And we have to get real clarity about that so that our senses even can understand it. And then as we begin to move forward, we begin to realize that it's going to take some things to happen, because it's not just going to materialize on its own. No, there's going to have to be some steps. There's going to have to be some goals that have to be set. So in our seventh principle of pursuing the success in our life, for our business, for our organization, the seventh principle is you have to understand the unleashing of goals. Goals are critical. They're important. They help gauge each step. They help us move forward. Oftentimes, one of the reasons that people never get off the launch pad, they never get past first base, is because they don't know what the next step is, because they haven't mapped it out. Being able to determine when and where, and how much, and what for becomes important in being able to get there. Because if you don't know what that looks like, then anywhere and anything will do. See, most of the time, when you look at people's goals, when they write them down, they're just good ideas. They're not real specific. They're not real objective. As someone said, they're not real smart, because there's a whole formula for the concept of SMART goals. Being specific, an exact amount, an exact date, an exact process. Is it measurable? Can we measure it? In other words, can we gauge when it's really happening and when it's not happening? Is it really achievable? That is it something that you can really pursue and go after, and it can be obtained? Is it the concept of something that can be reached? That is, you can get to it. It can really happen. It's not some far-flung, fetched idea out there somewhere that's really, quote, impossible. And of course, time sensitive. Does it have a time frame in which it has to happen? That's one structure of goal setting. But the critical component is to be able to get as specific and as time measured as possible, because then it becomes clear. Then you can gauge it. You can look on the calendar and say, today is Monday, and today I will take this step to get closer to this goal. That could be some things that we're going to talk about here this morning, is the fact that we've written it out. Maybe today is the day we write it out. Today I'm going to spend the next 8 hours, writing out in detail my goals to reach my dream. I'm going to write out everything I can think of. I'm going to put as much time frame to it as I can. I'm going to be as specific about things as I can. I'm going to write it out in detail, because there is something about writing it out that begins to burn it. not only into our mind, but into the very fabric of who we are. We begin to see things that we never saw before because we wrote it out. We begin to have an understanding about things that we never had before because we wrote it out. Those very goals that we write, we begin to realize they have to stretch us beyond our comfortableness, because as long as we remain in our comfort zone, we'll always get what we've always gotten. And that's not our dream. That's not our goal. That's not where we're headed. That's not our purpose. So one important thing that I encourage everybody to always do is, in this process of writing out goals, create some that are what I call breakthrough goals. It could be losing the first pound. It could be making the first dollar. It could be having a first conversation. It could be creating an idea and making one thing of that idea happen. And so have things along the way in your goal setting that are what we call breakthroughs, that you know you have moved closer because you have done this, and you can celebrate it, and you can tell people, I did this, I did this, I got to here. It's what's like baseball. If baseball didn't have bases, then the game would be totally a mass confusion. You could run any direction. You could say you scored when you didn't score. It would be a really weird game without bases. You see, bases mark off the concept and idea that we have moved forward. So what are your goal to get to first base? What does that look like? And the reality is that as you begin to move that direction, you begin to have better clarity about your vision, your goal. I would encourage you to plan time. One of your goals is every day at 5 in the morning, at 12 noon, and at 10 at night, I'm going to read my goal out loud every day. For the next 30 days, I'm going to read it out loud every day at those times. You see how specific that is. You see how time-bound that is. You see the fact that it's written because you have to read it, and you have a measurable action because you can say, this morning I read my goal. At noon, I read my goal. At night, I read my goal. And every day you begin to mark that off, that you have rehearsed your goal 3 times a day. You see, soon your brain will begin to believe that is just what is supposed to happen every day, that you're going to move forward on that goal every day. And every time something comes along that moves you closer to that, you will automatically begin to see it and be able to engage with it because it helps you move closer, because you don't have to rethink about it. You don't have to, now let's see, what was it I was going to do today? What step did I need to take? Your brain will know exactly what to do. It will move you forward. I would encourage you to get a goals book and put a goal on each page, or each goal put on its own single page, and begin to design and contemplate and put out what that goal looks like. Maybe you need to cut out something out of a magazine that represents that goal. Maybe you need to write out some things. Maybe you need to put some calendar dates in there. Maybe some people's contact information. Numerous things that each goal has its page so that you can see it as it expands and as it grows. Then I would encourage you to take a goal, and the main goal, get it on a card and carry it with you, whether it's in your shirt pocket or your purse or your billfold, your wallet, but that you carry it with you at all times, so that at any moment that you're, quote, unengaged from anything you're doing, you could pull it out and you could read it and remind yourself, today is about. Another thing that you could do to help you with your goals is to write yourself a future letter. Go out into the future. That day you say, by this time I'm going to do this, and just write yourself a letter to yourself of what has happened, and pin it out. Or you could write yourself, if it's a financial goal, you could write yourself a check and predate it. Down there in that memo section, write why you wrote this check. Why did this need to happen? Sure, there's going to be roadblocks and there's going to be fears and there's going to be obstacles along the way, and you have to realize that's going to happen. There may be days that you don't feel good or even be sick, that you can't do your goals like you thought. Maybe you can't even hold your head up to read them, but your mind will be able to rehearse them. There's going to be roadblocks. There's going to be people who don't answer your phone call. There's going to be people that you go to see and they don't see what you see in your vision and your goal. There's going to be things that bump up against life. But with your goal in place, you can begin to move. Because, see, mastery of that goal and what you're trying to do is the goal. It's the part of the journey. It's the part of the journey. But there's one key thing about goals, that if you don't do it now, you won't do it. For many people, the goal-setting thing is not anything new. They have known that, but they just never have done it because they didn't do it now. Put it on the calendar, make a date for yourself, an appointment for yourself, and go do it. Do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now. And then every day, each and every day, do something that moves you closer to the goal. Hey, thanks for being with us on the Morning Wake Up Call. My name's Dean Renfro. We're here to inspire you, inform you, and give you some insight that will grow yourself and in turn grow your business or organization. You can also subscribe to them on our podcast, on any of the major podcasts, and also at our website, themorningwakeupcall.com. Have it delivered to your inbox each and every morning, Monday through Friday. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you again tomorrow on the Morning Wake Up Call.